Hey guys, how's it going? Before I begin this video, I want to talk about Namaste Technologies. Like I predicted yesterday, I said that the stock would rise today because of the anticipation for the sales license, and it popped up a little bit, but I'm a little worried because the volume's kind of low. That means there's very little interest in the stock. I thought it would be a little bit higher, but it's kind of low. If there's no sales license tomorrow, if there's no news tomorrow, guess what? The stock's going back down. At least that's why I predict. Anyways, I guess I'll start up with the next piece of news. Metroleaf had collaborated with CFL Aluminum Association to study medical cannabis in managing chronic pain. This is excellent news because this can establish another 2,000 customers who are dedicated pot smokers, because I think below here it says something about 2,000 aluminum members. So this is a big win for Aurora and Metroleaf, at least I believe. It's not a big win, it's a small win, but these guys are, if these guys are going to be dedicated pot smokers, so that's good. And then they gain more insight into more knowledge on chronic pain for medical cannabis, which is a plus for the scientific team and a plus for medical patients. So this is good news, I believe. So I guess the next thing I want to talk about is invest with Steve Coral, PhD. He came out with a video on bashing on Canopy, and then he came out with a video bashing on Aurora Cannabis. He does make good points, so I'm gonna start the video and I'm gonna try to explain what I think about his video. Okay, let's go.
Good day, fellow investors. A lot of you asked me to analyze Aurora Cannabis when I analyzed Canopy Growth. Just a note on Canopy Growth, I have been contacted by their investor relationships and they want to have a chat with me on the phone. So I will talk to them. I really want to hear their version of what I have said. Perhaps I said something wrong. If I did, I will correct myself. We'll let you know what I discussed with their investor relations. But let's now go.
So yeah, they said that he will rediscuss what he talks about with the investor relations. Well, it's been 3 weeks and he has not updated anything yet, so maybe he never talked to them, maybe he talked to them and decided not to do a video. But I think what happened was, when he discussed Canopy Growth, a bunch of Canopy fans or investors got paranoid, and so they called investor relations and they told them about this video, and then Canopy's investor relations contacted this guy, and then they were gonna talk to this guy, but nothing happened. So I don't know. Maybe you guys want to message him and find out. But honestly, I don't really care. So let's go to the next one.
Current valuation. The first thing I noticed when going to ABC's investor relations page is the constant news flow, where every day practically something hot and exciting happens. So they're going to build Aurora's.
Yep, Aurora has a lot of exciting news every single week because they're trying to grow as a company. So, and they keep making good, aggressive moves to grow the company. That's why there's always consistent release of news, which is good. I like that. I like consistent release of news. So that's a positive. I don't know, but that's why I thought I'd bring that up, and I did. So the next one, let's go. I'm just putting out the highlighted points that I think is good.
Let's take a look at the CandyMed acquisition. So on September 30, the company had 368 million shares outstanding, and then they issued 70 million, a little bit less, and paid approximately 144 million Canadian dollars for the CandyMed shares taken up. So they have acquired CandyMed and diluted the shareholders by another 19%. So if we look at dilution over the last few years, it has been immense. Another thing to watch when you're an investor, you don't like dilution. Nevertheless,
he's correct on that. Nobody likes delusion, but unfortunately right now in the cannabis industry, delusion is a must. I mean, if everyone can borrow money from the banks, that would be billions and billions of debt. So, I mean, every cannabis company is doing delusion right now. Aurora is no different. Canopy is no different. You know, cannabis weed is no different. So, it's something that's a must. That's common practice right now in the cannabis industry. So, this applies to every single cannabis company. So, he has no point right here. So. And then he mentions, he mentions a reverse takeover. A reverse takeover is better than going public. Well, it's cheaper to go public on a reverse takeover, especially on like the early days when there was little interest in the cannabis industry. So, and going public is a must if you want to grow a company aggressively. So, I'm just gonna mention that. Let's move on to something more interesting.
Now, as I said, everybody looks at these companies as growth, growth, growth. And Aurora has in plan to make the Aurora Sky, Aurora Sun, Aurora Nordic in Denmark and then produce 430,000 kilograms of pot in a year. This is 100 times more than what it does now. So when you're investing in this company, okay, they expect to produce 100 times more. When you have such a growth company, there are operational risks, there are dilution risks, there are pricing risks, there are investment risks, and a lot of things can go wrong when you grow a company 100 times. However, if
he's correct on that, I can't argue with that. There is risk, but it also applies to basically every single cannabis company in this world. Like that does not just apply to Aurora. That applies to Canopy. That applies to Canopy. Does have the delusion risk. They're pretty good with the delusion. So if you guys want a better investment, go invest in Canopy. But I like Aurora. I'm gonna stick with my company. But Canopy, if you want, Canopy is the best delusion risk on the market right now. They have very little delusion risk because the stock price is so high that if they needed to raise more capital, they could easily do it because their stock price is so damn high right now. So yeah, like I think Canopy could acquire Aphria at, because their stock price is so high, they can acquire, if they were to acquire Aphria, they could. But Canopy doesn't need more capacity, so I don't think they're gonna acquire Aphria. That's just my opinion. So let's continue.
If the business model is replicable, healthy, and profitable, and then you say, okay, I'm going to scale everything, lower my costs, and increase the profits, then everything is good. However, if the gross profit on the 450,000 kilograms produced is 1.8 billion, if we estimate sales cost to be much less in percentage than those are now due to scalability, we could see ABC with an operating profit of, let's say, 1 billion, given some costs, a little bit in percentage lower sales and marketing, I hope. When they pay taxes, other costs could be at $2 per share of profits. So price earnings ratio of 10 with $2 of profits would see the stock price at 20 Canadian dollars, if there is no dilution in the meantime. If the company continues with its practice of diluting shareholders 100% per year, then you would see your EPS of 1 in the next year or 0.5 in the next 2 years, with them reaching their targets. And then you have a stock of not 20 but 10 or even 5. So dilution is the key when investing in such companies. I think that if it would be a healthy business model, then they would not have to dilute shareholders. And I don't like dilution. What can I say? Now, if I...
Oh wait, so he says that the company will dilute shareholders by another 50%. Oh, it's already happening. They're acquired Metrically, so they technically diluted shareholders by another 39%. But you know what? At the end of the day, you know who's gonna get hit the most with dilution? It's rich people. It's big investors. It's like people who have millions or billions of dollars that are invested into Aurora, and it's the management who owns millions and millions of shares. They're the one who's really gonna get affected. So when we have like the average investor that probably watches my channel probably has like 10, 20, 30, 40,000 shares. That's nothing. That's like a small chunk. So I mean, if you don't like the delusion, you can always switch to Canopy. You can hope Canopy becomes the global leader. But I like my company. I'm gonna stick to it. But hey, like $1 billion gross per margin, $20 share. He doesn't realize that the company continues to grow. There is more. The company is also very diversified. So what he says is, I don't know, contradiction to what it is now. Like if you look at Shopify, right, the company's worth $16 billion. They only make $250 million. So the stock market can reward companies that growth. Like he says $20, that could double. That could be easily $40. But because of the illusion, I think he's right, because it will be $20 because of the illusion. So I don't know. Maybe comment below. I would love a discussion on this, and I'm gonna bring it to the last one.
It was at 15, and since then it dropped down to the current 780 as I'm filming this. These cannabis stocks are very long shots, and if you invested somewhere 6-7 months ago, then it's great because you invested, let's say, with a lower risk. Now the risk is getting higher, and there are a lot of things that are going on that are risky for shareholders, depending the kind of shareholders. And the market cap is now 5 billion. If I see 200 million in profits, if they manage to execute what they have been doing without any troubles, then we are at a price earnings ratio of what? 25, which is relatively high. So I will be informing you again on the Canopy Growth investment relation chat that I will have next week probably. So please subscribe if you haven't to the channel.
Yeah, he never did it. It's been 3 weeks, so he came out bashing on Aurora, he came out bashing on Canopy, and he never followed up through it. So that's kind of contradicting. But he is correct about how if you were buying back in the day when it was $2 or $3, less risk. Yep, that's very true. Right now, the stock is riskier than if it was $3, and the rewards are not as high as it is when it was $3. But apparently, I mean, like, I don't really care. Like, I honestly don't care if everyone, every single of my audience sells the Aurora stock. I really don't care. I still believe in my company. I bought it at a cheap price, and ultimately, the only body that really can push up the stock are super rich people, institutional investors. So if they see a profit, they see the company growing, they see the company making a lot of money, money will go into the company. That's what I believe, and the stock will rise. What we are really are leeches. We buy into the stock and hope that the company executes well, and then that will get like big money to invest into the stock market, making all the little guys more money. That's how I see it. That's how I see the stock market working. So see, how long has this been? I don't know. There's no time. Okay, well anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, please give me a thumbs down. Subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.